Alright, so this is a Mythic 9 kill, obviously, and last fight for this week I got a 97 Parse, so I figured I'd just go over and say what kind of happened and what I fucked up. I mean, obviously at the start, I got fragments away from my Rune of Power. That's kind of bad. Not a fan, but that's okay. This is relevant. You can actually invis this away, so it just completely disappears, but it's not really worth to do as Frost because you have your whole 3 seconds where you can't attack. If you're a can, you definitely do it every time though. And I got second fragments, which isn't too important because I didn't have a rune out. Minus, I almost died, but I just Hellstoned and got a nice little GS from our Holy Priest. So I had my Icy Veins up there for a little bit, but I was saving it for this because I knew I'd have to go inside of here, and my Frozen Orb wasn't up yet. Uh, so it didn't really make sense to waste the rune. Still focusing Kira, especially on this fight, because she just has a significant amount more HP than the other one. So this is kind of unfortunate because I had Rune up and I had to delay it, but I guess it's fine just because it was then onto a 3-target cleave. So we're gonna hold Lust here, mainly till after the. Oh, I just clipped a freezing winds Iceland's proc because I was casting a Frostbolt, which you never want to do. Something that I tend to do a lot, so it's a big one to watch out for. And I should have Blizzard here, but I wasn't paying attention to timers, and my Frozen Orb wasn't out either, so mainly because I was anticipating a shield at any time, and it just didn't happen, so that's unfortunate that I got an extra proc of Ice Lances right after I Brain Freezed. What's here after the first Shatter? She's gonna do a recall in a second, but yeah, so that's pretty unfortunate, mainly just for the Ashen Hollow and the Wild Spirits for those people. My rune was already about 70% through, so didn't matter much. I delayed using my Brain Freeze for Frostbolt because I wasn't sure if she would be out yet. Uh, so yeah. I mean, I haven't spoken at all about it, but like Icy Flows is pretty invaluable in this fight, especially for when you're in these type of scenarios where you have to run and resist against something. The only fights where Shimmer is just superior this tier are near Zool and Painsmith, at least that I've encountered so far, but I'm at 2-day guild, so we're not ridiculously far into the tier. Just Icy Flows and dodge it. Look at that. So Icy Flows, drop a rune, Icy Flows again, then you can Frostbolt Shatter. It's very strong. I was kind of trolling this raid. I didn't have my. I'm running Nadija and I didn't have my empowered conduit because I chose to sleep for 4 hours instead of getting that before raid. And I'm also running Nadija. It's definitely a Theotar fight, but I just had that set up for fire. I'm not sure why I moved out of that. I mean, it's obviously reclear, so it's super just smooth. We have pretty much everyone topped right now, and the boss is at what 30-40%. So one of the biggest contributors to we're having that person kill himself so that we don't take too much raid damage. They are a druid and they are a night elf. They could have shadow melded it, but they didn't. That's okay. But yeah, one of the biggest downsides to this raid tier is not having like a domination piece. So for instance, I don't have core yet, and core is absolutely huge on a lot of these fights. Like this one has a lot of good core, at least in the first half, because on top of, I mean, just the 2 targets, which you'll hit both at the start, so your core will proc then, but uh, it'll pull in ads for the first half of the fight, first third, actually, since the single target fight is, you know, a lot more than that. I just rebuffed int, like, because we rezzed our, one of our balance roots, so. And she dies. Easy as that.